literally a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, I was literally on zero. I had to leave my hometown in London and move to Liverpool because financially I couldn't afford to stay in Liverpool. I couldn't find a job in London, so I left. Luckily, my mate let me crash at his, and then I finally got myself a job, and then I started working. I wasn't getting paid much, but I slowly started putting a little bit of money of my wage to the side. And what I was doing is I was saving it every month so that I could start buying stock for my new e-commerce brand that I'm building. So it took a few months, to be fair, and I had to be patient. I had to, you know, basically not spend really barely any money, only my necessities basically. And I was able to save about £3,000. And then with that £3,000, essentially I bought stock for my ecom brand. And that allowed me to start selling those products on the internet over my Shopify website and my TikTok website. And I'm only sharing this because even though at the time, a year ago, I was broke, I couldn't even think about starting a new online store. I was trying to figure out where I was going to sleep, how I was going to get my next paycheck, right? And at the time, you might think, oh, sugar, like sounds like, it's not the end of the world, but it sounds like, you know, it can get heavy, right? And you can't really see, not the light at the end of the tunnel, but you can think, damn, like this ain't gonna change, or how am I gonna get out of this? But the truth is, nothing is permanent. Like, everything is temporary. And it's the reason I'm sharing this because it's proof, right? It took a year. It might sound like a long time in the grand scheme of things, but it's actually not really. When you think about it, it's only 12 months. A month flies like that. But at least in 12 months, I went from not having a place to stay, not having a job, to have, like, this is a studio, right? It's very small. But, you know, prior to that, if you're new to this channel, I was staying in home shares in the past 2 other places. So I really had to kind of start at the beginning, and I'm still on that journey. Like, I still haven't got like a 1-bedroom apartment. I still don't have a flat. I still am only working on like a average salary, you know. I still don't have my financial freedom or my independence, but I'm working towards that. But I'm only sharing that because you might be in a position where financially you might be a little bit insecure. You might be out of work. You might have been made redundant. You might have tried something and failed, and now you're like, you don't really have the motivation, or, you know, you've been disheartened, should I say, and you feel like, you know, you're like stuck and you can't overcome it. But just know that literally nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Instead of looking at it, it's like looking at an office, right? If you've seen all these paper folders all over the place, it's all super messy. When you look at it, you're like, oh, it's a mess. How the heck am I going to clean this office, right? However, once you start putting one file into the cabinet and then another file in the cabinet, it starts to get clearer and clearer, and then before you know it, the office is clean, right? And that's exactly what it takes. All you have to do is a matter of literally just taking a step back and being like, okay, I'm not happy with this situation. What can I do? What action can I take today that will put me closer to the person or the situation that I want to be in, right? So for example, if you obviously lost your job or you're financially insecure, you need to start looking for work. Or if you have a skill, you have to start trying to leverage that skill, right? And maybe charge people. If you're like, for example, if you're a freelancer, you're gonna have to start reaching to clients, right? Just giving examples basically. But first of all, you got to take that first action, you know? And it's not gonna be perfect, right? It's like, I would love to have my own space in the beginning, but I was broke. I didn't have nowhere to stay. I didn't even have a job. I didn't have income coming in. How can I even think of having my own place when I don't even have money coming in, right? The idea of even paying rent. So the main thing was first like, okay, let me just find a place to have a roof over my head. And luckily in my situation, my friend allowed me to stay at his house. And then once I stayed at his house, I started looking for jobs every single day. Touch wood, I got a job. And then I just started working. And I would slowly start putting money in the side. I was looking for places to stay. But when you've moved to a new city, you know, it's not as easy of just trying to find like a tenancy, because you need references. You might need to be in your job long enough. But, you know, there's always a way anyway. My point is, you might not get to where you want to be straight away, but as long as you take an action one step closer, you're one step closer than you was before, right? Because you're going to take another step and another step and another step, and before you know it, you're actually going to be more closer than you thought you could in a small period of time. You could literally you could be broke today, find a job, get paid at the end of the month. Within that month, start looking for, you know, rooms or studios to rent based on your income every month. The first month you might not be able to do it because, you know, you're gonna have to save for a deposit, right? But then you do that for the next month, and then once you have enough for a deposit and you found the place, you move in. It might not be the place you want in the beginning. You might have to be in a HMO, for example. Me, I've been in 2 HMOs, 2 home shares, before I could find like a little studio. And still, this is just a studio, right? However, when I first saw my situation, I was like, okay, I gotta just take baby steps. And that's what I did. Just one step at a time, one step at a time. A year later now, you know, I've got a roof over my head. At least I got income that allows me to stay in this new city. You know, I've built I've started building the brand. I've got a few £1,000s in stock. I'm slowly, you know, building it and you know, trying to make it profitable. And then again, my next plan would be to carry on growing the business profitably, where I can carry on investing to a point where I no longer have to work for nobody. I can get rid of my job and I can work for myself, right? But right now, as I stand, I'm honest and realistic with myself, and I understand that there's a few more steps I need to take. But instead of me being disheartened and being like, oh, it feels so far away, even though it may not be, but you may look at it from a certain position in your life, and it might feel like that. But don't. Sometimes there's no point even looking that far ahead. You just gotta kind of be like, okay, what can I do today? And then you get a little bit closer. And then the other day, before you know, a week will go by, a month will go by, and you'll just be moving and you're moving. And sometimes just stop and look back and be like, raw, like looking at the videos when I was on the train on my backpack, when I literally had no money, no job. But I'm only, again, people, I want to share this because, like, you might be in a position where you're like stuck, and you may feel like you need a miracle to come out your situation. But you got to remember, like, things can take time, but as long as you're determined and you take that little action towards changing your situation, you will change it, and it will change, and it's just a matter of time. But instead of looking at the looking at it so close up, sometimes just take a step back and be like, okay, what can I do now? What can I do today? Yeah, you might be wanting to start your own business, so maybe opening up a limited company or LLC, I think it is in the USA, right? Could be as simple as opening, a business bank account. Could be anything. Could be writing it down, or, you know, in your journal of like the plan that you want to do, and that's one step. You don't think of the massive step, just one step. Write down your goals. Could be step 1. Could be you want to start a YouTube channel. Open that YouTube channel. pick your username, make a video, just start talking. Doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to think about, oh, what video will I do next week or the week after? How am I going to keep this YouTube channel going? Just press record, start getting familiar on the camera, start getting familiar with maybe vlogging in public or even just vlogging in your house. Just one little step. You get my point. Like literally one step, and before you know it, you'll be looking back and you'll be like, right, like I've gone so far already. The main thing I found and I've seen within people close to my life is that some people just give up. Some people don't even try. They're just like, oh, I'm not gonna get it, or they don't get what they want right now, so they don't even try. It's like they want this perfect opportunity now, so it's like they'll try that, not get that immediately, and then just kind of like just give off. But the point is, it's like sometimes you might not be as comfortable as you like to be, or you might do, for example, you might do the job you don't like. You might have to share with people that you don't like. You might have to be alone for a period of time, and it might be lonely. It's not something you enjoy. But it's like, just again, nothing, you just got to remember, like nothing is permanent. Me taking a step towards my direction is towards my goal, and the situation I want to be is what matters, right? Not like if it's not what I want right now, if I can't get what I need right now, then I don't want it. But it's like taking that action towards that direction is what you need to do. And eventually you will have that life you want. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not even one or the other. Sometimes people just, they just give up. They're like, oh, I can't get this, I can't get that. It's not what I want. And the thought of not having it kind of like demobilize them to even try anything sometimes, you know? I don't know if anyone knows anyone or can relate, but I'll end it there. But yeah, leave a comment and tell me what action step you're going to do today to get out your situation.